Kids, I'm gonna tell you an incredible story of how I became a top manager.
Are we being punished for something?
Yeah, is this gonna take a while?
Yes, it's gonna take between 15 and 20 minutes. 22 years ago, I started working for Ferrero. 2004 and 2005 in Sweden, responsible for the 4 Scandinavian countries in brand management, trade marketing, market research and innovation management. From 2007 to 2011 I worked at Basen, and from 2011 to 2012 at Käserei Champignon Hofmeister GmbH as head of international marketing, and from 2015 to 17 in the same function at Haus Ramenforst GmbH. Founded in 1805, they produce alcoholic-free wines to pure healthy fruit juices. So 22 years ago, I was an average manager with my own experience. And then in 2017, I met my friends in a bar and they taught me about new models and helping me with my leadership style. So now this is my personal story about how I became a top manager. Yeah.
You finished with the first one.
Yeah, that was quickly because
Hello friends!
Hi!
How are you?
Good, how are you?
How are you?
Hello.
Please join us.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good,
How
you?
is your new job?
Oh, it's great actually, yeah. We have so many different cultures and it's a new work environment, yeah. I love it.
Yeah? What nationalities are working for you?
Oh, we have so many nationalities like Ukrainian, Russian, Italian, Swedish, Danish, yeah,
What? Wow.
Finnish, French, Norwegian,
Oh my god!
and Polish.
Polish.
Oh, it's great.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's great to work with new people. And
But since there's so many nationalities, before you started to work with the international team, did you participate in training programs about leading international teams?
Actually,
no, I didn't.
What?
What?
Oh.
No? Man, I don't believe that you don't know any. You never came across with any of these?
No, I never heard it at all.
No. You never heard about Hofstede onion? No?
No.
No, my god. Hofstede can be regarded as one of the leading representatives of intercultural research and studies. The findings of his research and his theoretical ideas are used worldwide in both psychology and management studies. This model, introduced by Hofstede, as I already said, in the early 80s, includes 5 dimensions of cultures. It has been used extensively to understand cultural differences considering management. The first layer is the symbols, which you can see from the outside, considering a culture or a country. The second layer are the heroes, the well-known persons from that country or culture. The third one are the rituals of that area or those people. And in the core, you have the values and beliefs which influence behaviors the strongest. And these values are at the heart of national culture. So why is this important at all? Because what works well in one country may be entirely inappropriate in another. That's why it's important for you with working with different nationalities. There's a need to understand and to apply locally appropriate models of national culture to the process and practice of management.
But since you never heard about Gerd Hofstede's model, at least you heard about Hals iceberg model of culture, no?
No.
Never?
No, I never.
So I can help you and I can explain it to you. We have the surface culture, which is visible and it's above the water. There are behaviors and customs. And then we have the deep culture, which is not visible for anybody from the outside. So if you have international employees, you might not see these cultures, which are also attitudes and beliefs, core values, and basic assumptions. So if you work in an international company, you also have to consider the deep cultures, which are not visible from the outside.
About Hofstede's national cultural dimensions.
No, I never heard.
No! Luckily for you, I have the cross-cultural playbook right here. In here I've written about, for example, power distance and masculinity and femininity. You know, the power distance is about how, it's about inequality and how strong sense of positioning and status in that country. So for example, if you have like a high power distance score, that will indicate that you like treat each other with a lot of respect and it's a high authority and ranking system. While if you have a low power distance, that means that there's more like a casual flow when you're like more informal to each other, like in Broadway.
Oh.
Yeah,
interesting.
I
Broadway.
I know. And I also have written about the masculinity and femininity, which is also about, well, like it's about decision making, how you want to approach a decision or an argument. Like if you want to do it in the masculinity way, which is more like aggressive, you're just like, or if you want to do it in the femininity way, try to, you know, to try to like gentle, yeah, you be more gentle,
Trying to
with
negotiate,
yeah, negotiate nice. So that's that's what I have. So
Yeah. Am I the only one who doesn't know anything about it?
No, I also know other dimensions. Have you heard of uncertainty avoidance or not?
No, not at all.
Oh my god.
I know nothing.
So Hofstede actually took into account the levels of anxiety to consider the different attitudes to risk-taking of companies. Haven't you heard of that?
No.
There's also another one called individualism versus collectivism.
You know what else?
Yeah,
of course.
and some societies value the performance of individuals, which is like different in every country. But for others, it's more important to value the performance of the team, not just the individual. Haven't you heard of any of these?
Not the theories, but in practice I know how to deal with the persons.
Yeah, and I don't know how it worked in your company, but there's also another dimension called the long-term orientation. And actually some countries place greater emphasis on short-term performance, and other countries take a much longer-term perspective, which is likely to encourage more long-term thinking.
Luckily, we told you about all the dimensions we learned in university.
Yeah, I'm glad that I know something about the theory now.
Probably you had a lot of difficulties. Like, where did you face these difficulties to your cultural differences?
Yeah, it was like everywhere with international functions in companies.
So in all the companies you worked with internationals, you had difficulties?
Yeah, mainly.
Which techniques did you use to overcome these cross-cultural differences?
Yeah, you have to ask questions and read a lot, and also empathy helps you a lot to overcome that.
So you were having a lot of conversations with them?
Yes, of course. To overcome that, you just have to ask, and you just have to talk with the people.
But how did you adopt the leadership style?
So actually, we want to leave hierarchy behind and think of these things more broadly. So also to deal with different cultures and to understand how they act and how they think. That's the thing.
So you tried more to be on the same level with your employees
Yes,
and the
of course.
hierarchy?
Yeah. If you have a flat hierarchy, it's easier to communicate with the people, I guess.
Okay. And how was the level of how was the communication on different languages? Like, did you have any difficulties with that?
Yeah, it was differently with Italians and French people, mostly their language. But yeah, and also this leads to better understanding and acceptance. So
So you speak French and Italian, right?
yes. And
That's
with
crazy.
others, we speak that in German or in English.
Wow. So how did you motivate your employees?
So with appreciation, for example, of their work, and sometimes we do something after work to get closer, and also through advanced training, and of course with bonus payments and pay rises. So for example, Germans and Scandinavians are focused more on appreciation and pay rise, whereas the Southern workers are more with gestures.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were giving like compliments with the appreciation?
Yeah, when they've done something good, of course you tell them.
That's nice.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of experiences did you have?
Well, when I was an international manager in the US, I organized football games on the weekend, and I also made some contests so that they can motivate each other and work as a team where they all know each other. So that helped with the productivity, you know. Yeah.
Guys, we should order 5 more beers.
Beer.
No,
yeah.
beer.
That'd be a
Tequila.
Okay, limonada.
I don't know.
I would love to have a Jägermeister, you know? Good German.
No.
Jägermeister.
No.
Yes,
It's not
good.
No.
It's so difficult with all these decisions when we're from different nationalities.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I had it at work, so.
Yeah, you experienced that.
Yeah, of course. Like different cultures have a different understanding of this. So
Imagine.
whereas Scandinavians are, for example, more open, like German and Italians are more reserved. So it's easier and quicker to make decisions with Italians. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That's why we need Italian.
Yeah, we need an Italian.
We need an Italian.
Italian. Yeah, we need to. Yeah.
So what did we order?
Let's say beer.
Let's take the beer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. It's so nice to sit with all you together, and it's great that we all speak English. Like, are there other languages you speak?
Yeah.
Well, I speak Spanish, of course, and a little bit of French. Yeah.
I only speak Norwegian.
Norwegian.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, we both speak German.
And actually, it's interesting. Like we communicate differently to each other in German than in English, I guess.
That's true.
Point, yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
such a big advantage if you're like with international friends, or if you're working in a company with international employees. Like for me, it is an advantage, and also like being open-minded with all the people.
Yes, yes.
I don't know. What do you think? What were your advantages, disadvantages?
For me, it has only advantages because you have a broader range of ideas and opinions, so you can concentrate on that and develop further with these.
Okay.
And I think also for the business. I don't know, my old boss, he was also an international marketing leader, and now he has open doors in all the world. Because of this experience, he can work everywhere he wants to.
Yeah, that makes it easier.
Yeah, but you have to learn how to handle that because it's not that easy if you speak different languages.
Yeah, but
true.
if
You
you
have
can
different backgrounds. You have,
if you can handle that properly, then you only have advantages because you have so much experience with this.
Yes, of course.
But probably you're a really patient person, so you
Yeah.
can adapt to that.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. So this was a lovely story, but what are the lessons learned? Like what?
Yeah, the most important thing is to speak with the employees and ask them about their wishes and needs. So then you have a broader horizon and you will be more successful because you come up with ideas and measures that others can consider.
Do you think you can learn how to be a top international manager, or you have to be born for that?
No, I think that everybody can do it because once you have the experience and once you know and once you try it, you evolve and you will be more successful.
But you have to be prepared before going to another country, right?
Yes, of course. You have to consider what kinds of values and beliefs they have in the country, so you can prepare for that to know it.
Do
So-
you feel prepared now?
Yes, I do. Because
Can you say that preparation and adaptation is everything is the key for success?
yes, of course, it's very important to prepare yourself so you can consider the other part.
Thanks, Dad, for telling us that story. Now I want to become a manager too.
Yeah, me too.